A head torch that doesn't clatter against me glasses. Class. Another week, another review, and this time it's the turn of this. It's the UNILITE Neon Sport-H1 head torch. Even though winter's on its way out, the dark nights are still lurking around, which sucks. So you still need to be seen out on the roads, the woods, races, training, and having a head torch is a fundamental accessory you need for those runs. For disclosure purposes, UNILITE haven't paid me to do this review. They put a tweet out on Twitter and just asked for people to review products for them. I put my name in the hat. I think there's a couple of the YouTube community out there who got stuck in as well, so you'll probably see reviews dotted around, but I just thought I'd put it out there that they didn't pay me to do this review. I think I can take this off now. Before I start with the review, let's go through the different features that this torch packs, and there is a few, and it's quite impressive at the same time. So in terms of output, the torch kicks out 175 lumens. The battery life you get between 5.5 to 75 hours. That purely depends on what setting you have it on. The beam range is 70 meters. The IP rating you get with it is IPX6, so I would imagine this would be sort of between showers and heavy rainfall. I wouldn't suggest putting it underwater or submerging it because it might just conk out. It probably will, to be honest with you. And lastly, it's got an impact resistance of 1 meter. I went with the blue colour scheme when I got offered what colour that I wanted, but you can get neon pink, green and yellow, I believe, so there's an array of different colours you can pick from. I've had this out on a walk with Charlie and also a few runs out where I live in the woods, and it's been great when I've been testing it. So one of the many things that impressed me was the plug and play and how simple it was to use. Now, for accessories, if I can just take out the box and use it straight away, fantastic. I don't want to faff around with bits and pieces and remove stuff and add stuff. It's annoying. Or charge it with some head torches that I've had. All you have to do is use the 45-degree rotational head, pop open the case, put your battery in, and away you go. And I did this as soon as I got it out of the box, and it was fantastic. No loitering, perfect. This is what I want in a product. As soon as I left the house and put it on, I felt confident. I knew I was going to get a good output. Like I mentioned, depending on what setting, you can get up to 12 hours if you use just either high, medium or low. I wasn't going to use SOS, not on a walk anyways, but it's just nice how you got that option, and there was no need for me to take a AA. But you know, if I was going to go on a longer run or a longer walk, I would, and it would just be a case of, like I mentioned, pop in and play. In terms of simplicity, like most head torches out there, all you have to do is just use the button that comes with the head torch. There are 6 different settings with this head torch, so there's high, medium, low and SOS. That's from the main torch. On either side of that, you can either get red or strobe red. I'd imagine that would be for cyclists and also other runners who want to use it to be seen from behind on roads and paths, just to play extra safe. For me, I left it on high just because of where I live. There's no street lights, it's very rural, and also where I'm running, it's mainly in the woods, so there's no point in me running the low because I'll just simply not see where I'm going and potentially run into a tree. It has happened. Another key feature is also when you leave a setting on for more than 3 seconds, it turns off when you press the button. So there's no danger of having to flick through the different settings or potentially dazzle yourself. There has been a time where I thought I've turned the head torch off and I've taken off my head and I've turned it around and it's flashed into my face and it's left us dazzled. Not cool and not sensible. Probably my own fault for not checking, but it has happened in the past. But it's not all positives. There was a couple of things that let me down. I will explain in the cons section later on. One of the main things was the level of brightness. I would love a little bit more brightness, but that's me being really greedy. I know it's 70 meters at the minute, but it'd be great if it could be pushed to 100 meters, simply because I like to see where I'm going further ahead. I don't like to look down, purely because I don't want to over rotate. There was times where I had to do that with this torch. First things first, it's a silicone headband. I've never had a head torch with this, and this is an absolute godsend, simply because in the past the head torches that I've owned don't have silicone built in with them. So it's just a case of strapping it up as tight as I possibly can on my forehead, which is either A, uncomfortable, or B, it doesn't work because it'll eventually slide down and then bash off my glasses, which is uncomfortable and also annoying. This never happened with the UNILITE torch, and it was an absolute godsend, and I absolutely loved it simply because of this. It's light, it's 73 grams with the battery in, and you hardly notice it. There are head torches that are chunky. The ones I've got at the minute, they are very, very chunky and very, very heavy. I would imagine that's why it starts to slide down. So because of how light this is, you don't notice it on your forehead, and you pretty much forget that it's on until you have to actually take it off, you don't notice it, and it's fantastic. The lighter the better. It's easy and accessible to change the batteries. So like I mentioned at the start of the video, it's a plug and play. So long as you've got spare batteries, depending on if you're going to go on a long dark run or a long dark trail race, it's easy to do. You can do it on the go if you're running, which is perfect, and it's also, you don't have to waste time taking possibly charging packs with you. As long as you've got a AA battery or a couple of AA batteries with you, you're fine. Staying with the battery, it's the battery life itself in this. To get 5.5 hours out of a high setting, it totally blows my mind, because I've always had head torches which kick out no more than half an hour to 45 minutes, which limits to how far I can actually run, especially out there, because if it goes dark, I am knackered. So I'm really happy about the battery life that you get out of this head torch. Finally, it's the price. This, when I've been looking around on different websites and online, you're gonna pay roughly £20, which is an absolute steal. It's a perfect head torch for those who like to work within a budget. I know that with running kit it can be quite pricey depending on what kind of budget you work with. If you're just starting out or looking for your first head torch, £20 is nothing, and it's totally worth the investment because you're gonna get a good long life out of it. Okay, the cons. There's only a couple, and I've touched upon one, which is the brightness. Again, like I mentioned before, I would love it to be pushed to 100 meters in terms of range. Whether that'll happen, I don't know. It's just in terms of what I want to see in front of me. I would imagine that'll be the case with other runners as well. I want to have that ability to see a little bit further and also a little bit brighter at the same time. I'm being greedy and probably being too nitpicky with it, but that's one of the cons for me. Then there's the lack of flash option. Now you're probably thinking there's an SOS set on this, so what are you complaining for? And you're right, but what I really want from this head torch is a constant flash option. I want an option where the torch can kick out just a constant flash, just to let other road users and path users know that I'm on my way. Having the SOS setting is great, but I'm a little bit wary that I might put other drivers or road users off in case I think I'm in danger or something's wrong. It might not be the case, I might be overreacting. That's the feeling that I get with this setting. So to have a flashing setting, brilliant. Overall, this head torch is fantastic for those who are just getting started out in nighttime running and looking for their head torch. Specifically for training or racing, the price at £20, like I mentioned, it's an absolute steal. So if you're looking to get this head torch, I would highly recommend it. And what I'll do for you is I'll leave a link in the description below from UNILITE to just for a bit more product information about this, and also where you can get it from at the same time. Okay, so that's the review for the head torch done. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section below if you own one. Is it good? Is it bad? Or are you looking to get one? Let me know, and I'll catch you on the next review. Before I go, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new around here, subscribe, that would be great, and I'll catch you in the next review. Bye!